Well, hey everybody, hope you are doing well today. We are in Isaiah 40, and as we look at the story in Isaiah 40, we are reminded how repetitive and cyclical our lives are. In the story of the Israelites, they're continually in and out of slavery. They mess up, they sin against God, and they go back into slavery. I mean, this repetitive, cyclical nature to our lives, it's all around us. We see in nature, sun goes up, sun goes down. We have seasons, there's birth, there's death. Even in our relationships with one another, we have this tendency to hurt one another, to cause pain in each other's life, and then we have to apologize, ask for forgiveness, make up, and then the cycle repeats itself. An hour later, maybe we hurt someone again. We do this in our relationship with God, right? We sin, we mess up, we make a mistake, and we have to go to God and say, I'm sorry, I messed up, please forgive me. And we do that on a daily basis as well. And so the Israelites are in this journey of just in and out of slavery, messing up, sinning against God, and going back into slavery. And so when we pick up the story in Isaiah 40, they're currently in captivity, but Isaiah is prophesying, saying, hey, it's about to end. It's about to end. Take comfort, take hope in God. You're about to be rescued. The chapter opens, says, comfort, comfort my people, says your God. Verse 11 says, he tends his flock like a shepherd. He gathers the lamb in his arms. He carries them close to his heart. So it's this picture of, I've got you. I'm going to save you. I'm going to rescue you. Take comfort. Take hope. And so Isaiah is saying, put your hope in God, in Yahweh. He will save you. But the Israelites have a tendency to forget. Constantly are forgetting, and then they get rescued, and they start building idols again. They start putting their hope and their trust in themselves. And God, where did you go? You've abandoned us. And I don't know about you, but I can relate to the Israelites in being forgetful in God's faithfulness in my life. And we see this in our lives. Those of you who have had kids, why do we have a second child? I do not know. Because after you have the first kid, it completely obliterates your life. It's like your time's not your own. It causes more stress and costs more money. It's like, why would we ever have more than one child? But we forget. We're like, oh, the kids are so great. Let's have another one. And the second one comes and you're like, why did we do this? Like, did we forget how hard it is? Yeah, we forgot again. Whether you started your own business, maybe you ran a marathon, you go on a mission trip. There are these things in our lives that are difficult and challenging. And we forget and we do it again. And so we do the same thing in our relationship with God. We forget during those difficult, painful times in our lives that we're not going to get ourselves through this. Only God, only through his strength, through his grace, through his peace, only relying on him will we get through these challenging, difficult valleys in our lives. We must put our hope in God, which all sounds good, but I know for me there's been a time in my life where I feel like I was in such a difficult spot that I couldn't put my trust in God. I was seeing a therapist at the time, a counselor, and there was this challenge in my life where I really didn't think it would end. I'm like, this is just how life is. This is how God made me. Like, it's never going to get any better. And the therapist looked at me and he said, well, can you put your trust in me? Can you put your hope in me for a season? I'm not advocating that we put our trust in man, ultimately in God, but it's kind of like a stair step or a ladder. It's like I couldn't trust God at this time. I really didn't believe it could get better. And this guy's saying, hey, just put your trust in me. I've worked with people through the years. I know through experience that it can get better, that you can get better. And so I said, yeah, okay. I trust you. I trust that, I'll put my hope or my faith in you for this time and this season. And things got better. Things began to get better. And then I was able to see and trust God and believe like, okay, God, you can really bring healing and transformation. Let me put my hope and my trust in you. But I had to borrow someone's hope for a season. Well, in verse 31, the chapter closes like this. It says, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. The only way that we can run and not get weary, walk and not be faint, endure the difficult valleys in our lives if we are truly putting our hope and our trust in Jesus, not in ourselves, not in the people around us, but in Jesus himself. That's the only way. He's the source for our strength. He's the one that will bring healing and grace into our lives. And so let's trust God. Let's place our hope in him today. Amen. Have a great day, everybody.